Welcome to the Roles and Security Overview. I'm going to go over the various areas where securities and permissions come into play in Sage Intacct. So in general, Intacct has security in various areas, and the main areas that I'm going to touch on are dashboards, reports, and your company admin area. First, I'm going to go into an administration role, and we're going to look at the different subscriptions in this administration role. So subscriptions are like permissions, okay? So it's a kind of a different term that Sage Intacct uses. But if you click on the subscriptions button, it comes in here to your various modules or areas with your different permissions over here on the right. One thing to note, you cannot click on the checkbox on the left and assume this is going to give all permissions or take all permissions away. So this is purely a read-only box. Even though you can click it, it does not do anything as far as the permissions and settings go. So you're going to click on the permissions link here, and you're going to see a list of all the different granular screens and settings you can do and tasks that you can set for a list, a view, an add, an edit, or a delete type of permission. So if you want to do a quick, I don't want them to have any permission in this area, you can click none. You can scroll down and you can see there's some more sections. So there's a reports area as well. You can click none to this as well. Okay, then when you hit save, you'll notice that the project's permissions area no longer has the checkbox next to it. I'm going to hit save one more time and come back in. That projects area should no longer have a checkbox. So we'll give it a second here to save. Come back in to the subscriptions area, and now you can see the checkbox is no longer there. So I'm going to go back into my permissions, and now there is the read-only option. So read-only is going to give me list and view. I'm not going to be able to add, edit, or delete or post these various tasks in this top area, for example. Now notice it also does not hit every bullet when I hit read only. It hits specific ones. So list and view on my employees is not selected. So just be cognizant that this read only doesn't necessarily hit list and view on every section here. So let's say that I want to give all permissions back. I'm just going to hit the all bullet on all my areas. And don't forget to scroll down all the way to the bottom to make sure that you're not missing an area, okay? Because there's an all, read only, or none permission setting in the various sections. And sometimes there's 3 or 4 sections. So I'm going to hit save. And now my project's permissions, I have a checkbox here to the left indicating I have something turned on in that area. Okay, so I'm going to hit save again. And now I'm back to my list of roles. Just a note, these are Sage Intacct pre-loaded roles that you can select from. Obviously, you're not going to use all of these roles, but there are example roles in here for you to start from. So I'm going to hit done here. And I'm going to go back to my users area where I assign roles to specific users. Okay, so I'm going to pull up the users. And in other videos, we talk about user types, but I'm going to touch on this for a minute. So I'm going to open up a user here. And what I'm going to talk about here is this admin privileges area. So if you are a security administrator or want to be one in Sage Intacct, you have to have full admin privileges here that let you give security and permissions in the role screen we were just previously in. Okay, so you can read that right here. So be aware you need to be a business full admin privileges user to give security rights in the system. Another thing I want to point out is user groups. So in my administration area, I have what's called groups, but it's user groups. I'm going to hit add here. So let's say I have project managers in my company and I want to make a project manager user group. What this does is it allows me to pick this user group on reports on various areas in the system where I don't want to have to go put every project manager one by one on all the reports. So if I'm hiring more project managers, I don't have to then remember to go to all the reports and add that specific user to every report. So I'm going to hit save here. And now I have a project manager user group. So for any user that is assigned the project manager role, they are going to be part of that group. Okay. A few more items I want to touch on the administration area is I have an area called external users. I also have an area called web service users. Okay, so web service users are going to be your ISV, your other technology, your other software that's going to integrate in with Intacct. They might need you to come in here and add them as a web service user. So that is what that area is for. So for example, Sage Estimating might have an estimating user that is required to be set up for the web service user area. External users, that is going to be us, and that's going to be Sage Customer Support when we need to come in and look in your instance to assist you with any sort of reports or any other sort of help that you need by allowing us to slide into your instance. Okay, so this doesn't require a subscription of a user. We can use an external user, and that is how we connect in with you all. Now I'm going to navigate over to the dashboards area and open up a specific dashboard so you can see the various settings for permissions on dashboards. So in a dashboard, we have an edit button to the left here that lets us set the permissions for who can see this dashboard. So over here on the permissions tab, we have the owner of the dashboard, so basically who made the dashboard. We also have users and groups that we can add to this dashboard to allow them to be able to see the specific dashboard. Okay, so I'm going to click on user here, and I'm going to click on someone's name, and I'm going to click add. And if I deny everyone and allow specific people, only Chris Kirby and this Dennis owner will be able to see this dashboard. An owner will always be able to see the dashboard here. So if you have a group of users, like a project manager group that we created, you can click project manager, hit add, and now project managers, and Chris Kirby can see the specific dashboard here. Okay. So if you want to quickly allow everyone to see it, you can just click allow everyone, and all the users in Sage Intacct will be able to see, all the users that are in here will be able to see this specific dashboard. Okay. Now, something I want to tie together on the overview here is you need to have your security permissions set in the role for them to be able to see the dashboards at all. So I'm going to show the administration role again, and subscriptions, and in company. Dashboards are listed in the company area here, and you need to have at least the view right on in the specific spot in order for someone to be able to view a dashboard. If you want them to be able to see all of the dashboards, you will give the list as well. If you want them to be able to add, edit, or delete a dashboard, you would give them these buttons as well. So one tip is if you give them a list of all dashboards, you are going to want to make sure that you have secured the dashboards in their entirety and not kept them wide open. You might have confidential reports For payroll, you might have some financial information on some of these. So you want to be careful to secure each of these dashboards before you give a list in the company permissions for that specific user. One big tip that we do recommend is go in and deny all of the dashboards to start so that you can have a more secure system when you go live. If it is a dashboard that doesn't have confidential information and you want to leave it wide open, that is up to you as well. Okay, so let's navigate over to the reports area. So we're going to go into a financial report to start. So my reports, financial reports area, or remember I can get to financial reports from the general ledger area. Okay, so let's go here. And I'm going to open up my balance sheet detail. And I'm going to come down here to permissions. And this is where you will secure your financial reports. So again, the report owner will be able to see this report. I have allowed everyone to be able to see this report. So it's a balance sheet, might not want to do that. So I need to move this to the exclusion list. I want to exclude everyone. So in order to do that, I'm going to click remove. And it's going to say it's moving it to the exclusion list. And then I want to add specific users to be able to see this specific balance sheet. Okay, so that is how you would secure your financial reports. Remember also, I have groups as well. So if I have an accounting group I want to add, I can select them here and click add, and I will have all of my accounting group and all those users inside this area as well. Okay, so let's navigate over to interactive custom reports. And we're going to go over to the right here. So if your browser is zoomed in too far, if we zoom out just a little bit more, you'll be able to see the advanced settings button over here to the right of each report. So if I click on one of these ICRW reports, I have a permissions area in the middle. So right now, this has allowed everyone to be able to see this report. I also am the owner, so I will be able to see this as well. So again, you're going to deny everyone if you want to secure this down a little more, and you're going to add your specific users or your group of users here, as in all other areas, for example. Okay. Again, another tip will be go into your confidential reports and click on advanced settings and deny everyone and add the specific users that you would like for them to be able to see that report. So for example, all these payroll reports you will want to secure, so only payroll users will be able to see those. Okay, so we're going to navigate to custom reports. And we're going to edit a custom report here. In custom reports, if I go to the end, I have a section or a button that says add to menu. Custom reports do not have security to where you can restrict the report from being seen by specific users. How custom reports work is you add them to menus. So for example, this is an AP aging by project. I have selected to add it to the menu for the accounts payable area. So if I navigate to accounts payable and go to the custom reports area, I can see this AP aging by project. So in security, if I have that custom report view in accounts payable, So let me tie this together here in the role permissions on how this works in security. I'm going to click on Platform Services. And you can see the custom reports is a pretty general security permission. So if I give the security for a list or view or just view, I am going to be able to see my custom reports on my accounts payable menu, for example, if I have that permission turned on in Platform Services. So a big suggestion with custom reports is do not add them to menus if it is a confidential report. So in the last step of your wizard, you're not going to want to add this to the menu if it is a confidential report. One more step you could take is do not create confidential reports in the custom reports area. Okay, since you can secure ICRW, you can secure financial reports pretty strictly. Those are easier to restrict by user. Custom reports are not able to do that. So that is an overview of the various areas where security permissions come into play in Sage Intacct.